Like it anyway. All right, thanks, fellas. All right, my name's Steve Leather, Club Chairman, FC St Helens, and welcome to the next episode of the FCTV. So today's show is all about how we're going to look back at the games over the last few days. We're going to take a look at the disappointing 10 days from the first team, look back at some of those scores. But on more positive, we'll start to look at the reserve teams, how well they're doing. And we're going to touch base on the under-18s and how they're performing over the last few weeks as well. And how can we not say anything about the big FA Cup win from Rosie and the girls last week in the 2-1 victory in the FA Cup, and we'll come back to that shortly. But here in the studio today is Steve Ashton. He's the joint reserve team manager. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
Also a little bit of a legend, has been one of the... Well, he claims to be one of the legends. But yeah, Steve's been with us since day one, so he knows a lot about the club, and I'm sure he'll share some of the stories and experiences with us when we get into conversation later. But, thanks for coming along anyway.
Thank you very much.
And then, not to mention, we've got Baz Pope, Bazza, who looks after our under-18 side. And he's been with us for 11 years now, I think it is. So we're going to have a bit of a chat about his under-18s, a story about how it's all come about, and more importantly today is about talking about how he can integrate the 18s coming into the reserves, and that's where we get a joint conversation coming from both. So that's all on the show today, so we'll get stuck in. First things first though, let's have a chat about the first team. It's been a disappointing 10 days to say the least. A couple of games losses. We did have a postponed game at Chan at Richard from a couple of weeks ago now. But we went into the game on Saturday against MSB Bolton. Where we were going in pretty confident, and so we should be as a Premier League club playing against a First Division side. Unfortunately, it was a bad day at the office, and we came out on the back end of a 2-0 loss, which was all disappointing, and more so than the manager's reaction. So we're going to hear from Mike now, and let's get his thoughts on that.
Mike, it's a frustrating one to take. We knew coming into this one, Bolton, they've got momentum on the side. But from minute one, it was a tough one. We started well, but there was missed chances. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it's the same story week on week with missed chances, but aside from the missed chances, we lacked any art, any desire, and we have now for a couple of weeks. And I've just told the lads in the changing rooms then, I think some of them are better talkers than footballers, and no matter how good you are, if you've got no art and got no desire, it's going to get you nowhere. And Wilton had that in abundance today, and fair play to them. They deserved the win. They deserved the win, and I think probably 2-0 probably flattered us because we didn't have a shot on goal the second half. So fair play to them. It was a good win for them, and they deserved it.
Yeah. Well, just to focus on a bit of good news, Tom Scarborough was back, linked up with his twin brother Harry. How good is it to see him back on the field?
Tom Scarborough being back is probably the only positive we can take from today for me. It's been a long 12 months for him, and there's still a bit of a road to go. But delighted for Tom to be back in it. It'll do him the world of good. And we've seen the impact he had when he's come on the pitch. He's positive, he's aggressive. He's one that you can't question his heart and desire because he's got that massively. So it's a good positive for us.
Brilliant. Just looking ahead now, Earlham midweek. What are your thoughts going into that one? What can we expect from them? They've had a good start to the season.
Earlham are a very good side. They're experienced at the level. They've got a load of good players, very good players. They've beat us last season here 1-0, and then we beat them away 3-0 on the last game of the season, which was a bit of a dead rubber. What I will say is, if we turn up with the same attitude and mentality that we've had in the last couple of games, last couple of weeks, then it could be a tough night. And I've just let my feelings be known to them in there that some of them, they're going to be losing the shirt, and it's that simple because I'm not having performances like we've just seen today.
Yeah, okay, brilliant. Thank you, Mike.
And that was on the back of another loss from Prestwich Hayes. Again, a frustrating game. Funny enough, we were talking about the referees in the last episode, and they came up and didn't do us any favours again this time with an arguably a contentious decision about us sending off, which ultimately changed the path of the game. So again, we came out in a battle off there. So we've got hard work to come across, and I'm sure Mike and the team will get it all sorted. But let's just take a little bit about some of the positives as well. So the FA Cup women, they love this competition. They came out on 2-1 win against Thornton. And and secured a spot into the next round of the FA Cup first round proper. So Rosie and the girls did exceptionally well, and let's hear the thoughts from Rosie straight after the game last Sunday.
So I'm with FC St Helens manager Rosie Havelin. Have I pronounced that right?
Yeah, you have.
But yeah, how have you found the trip as a whole and staying over last night especially?
Really, really good. Obviously, I didn't put anything on social media or anything from the club to let them know we were staying up. I didn't want them to have any idea at all, so I pre-warned the girls as well not to be sharing anything. But just having that edge coming up on the Saturday, we all went out for a meal last night, bit of team bonding, a few initiations, which was fun, and everyone enjoyed it. And then we went for a team walk today, so really professional, but it allowed us to prepare in the best possible way.
Yeah, and then moving on to today's performance, how are you summing up the game we've watched today?
I'm absolutely buzzing. We had a good chat with the girls earlier on this morning in terms of like they are a level above us, so we got to respect that, and it was just about sitting back and being patient, and then allowing them to make their own mistakes with us frustrating them at times, and that's what happened. And we had quite a few chances in the first half, but it just wasn't hitting the back of the net at that time. But the second half we came out with a lot more intensity, and the encouragement from the sidelines was just really kicking the girls on. And then Ava, what a strike. I think it was about 30 yards. It was going to, we needed something special to beat that goalkeeper because she was really good. And 30-yard strike out, just top corner. So we got off to a really good start in the second half. And then I think it was Ava or Dee again had a shot at the keeper. He made another good save. And then Sophie Griffiths just followed it in. So we went 2-0 up. And then last couple of minutes, always a bit nervy. They pulled one back. But we just got a lot of players on the pitch, defensively mindset, and we just saw it out to the end.
Yeah, I think from my point of view, it's the mindset of the girls that have really seen the game over the line. I think that's testament to the management team and the players as a group as well.
Yeah, they bought into the game plan, and if they do that, then they know they're going to get a result, and they put in a perfect performance. Every single player wore the badge with pride today and never gave up. And I've got goosebumps all around me just thinking about it, but fully deserved, and I'm absolutely buzzing for them.
What about the next round? What are you thinking?
Exciting times. It was nice obviously being away and coming away and creating an upset, and obviously having a good time with the travelling up yesterday and stuff, so I wouldn't mind another tasty draw away from home. But it's always nice to be at Windlesham. You can't beat your own home pitch, so we'll be looking out for the draw. Hopefully I think that's happening tomorrow or sometime this week.
Up the stripes.
Up the stripes.
Great. So on the back of that win, we now went to the FA, where they did the FA draw at Wembley, and let's see how the draw went.
Number six, Leeds United, a huge club coming out early here, and they will face at home.
Okay. Number 21.
Number 21, FC St Helens. Okay, Molly, our next tie, please.
Okay, so let's get back to the studio guests. We're going to start with Steve. So again, Steve, do you want to have a quick introduction to the guys at home? Let you know who you all are.
So I'm Steve. I have been at FC for 11 years now?
11 years.
11 years, yeah. Since it first started. I've been first team, now I'm with the reserves. Now I've got a bit older and I can't run anymore. Won loads of things, to be fair. Won the Lancashire Cup, won the North West Counties First Division. It's been unbelievable, to be honest. Steve's just set the platform really of everything that's there. He just keeps getting better and better and better, and it just amazes me how every year we just seem to be going higher, winning stuff. Even the women now, obviously, as well, and stuff like that. So it's just. I think
it's fair to say, because you've seen it from day one. You've seen the progression grown, not just on the field but behind the scenes as well. So when you first joined the club, when I managed to persuade you to play for this team from coming away from the other side of the path, so what was it you think that thought there's something going to go on here? Was it just the mate side of things at the time?
Yeah, I think it was, to be fair. Like my best mate Lee was there, and I came back from uni, played a little bit at uni, didn't have a team, played for Pilks before I went to uni for a year. And I thought, well, obviously I'll join him. And then I knew a couple of lads who'd been at Pilks as well, like Joe, Mac, Ryan, people like that. And it just was a boss culture, to be fair. Probably too good of a culture.
Was it good at Pilks?
In net, you mean?
Yeah.
Sponsor having young for gloves.
No. We can change this subject there. But yeah, I suppose you're right. It's one of the things that was built on. It was that kind of togetherness a little bit, because whilst they were all good footballers in their day, and I stay into these days, they were all good footballers. But they're all good footballers. They were also equally good mates, and I think that created a lot of the bond that I think still we try to do now, but it's a lot more difficult as the club's gone into the higher divisions, I think. But I think we've managed to keep all of that in the Resis section a little bit, and it's up to us as the older players and the older pioneers of the club, is really to maybe try and instill that as the under 18s come through and stuff.
Well, to be fair, I mean, obviously we have got the older lads who have been at the first team, dropped down and stuff like that, but we have, like when we played Middlewich on Saturday, they were very much the same lads who used to play when we used to play them in the Cheshire Prem. Yeah. But we've added like a very good group of young lads now. To be
it's
honest,
interesting because I remember you coming to the club you mentioned that on Saturday in the club, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you were a bit taken back by, God, you seen you play against these players, 6 or 7 years ago, and they were still there.
And the difference, to be honest, now is the fact that we've added a good group of young lads and say they're better than what other teams have added, which is credit to Baz, really.
I mean, going back a little bit further I think it's important for people to know where we've come from and how the thing was built. And obviously, I said to you, you've been there since day one, and it's all about the DNA and the breaking. But what was it solely that reason, do you think? Was it just the camaraderie between the players?
I mean, yeah, the group of lads would literally was brilliant, like so good. Obviously, the setup that you'd sorted had helped and things like that. Like you've got the one pitch there, you've got the clubhouse. Like that's one thing you notice. A lot of teams we go to this year now, back in the Cheshire Prem, do have the clubhouses and that. But last year we noticed that loads where it was a decent pitch. Don't get me wrong, but our clubhouse is just better than so. And it just creates that people staying for a drink after the game.
Exactly, and I think one of the main things I always wanted to try and get over really in the early days is players will come for the environment, and they'll come for the facilities and things like that. And I think we did that successfully well in the early days.
Still got lads now, like I know Blakey's mentioned it a couple of times, who's come from Pilks last year, and he said like never enjoyed a club as much just because we're there like an hour before we need to watch the early kickoff. Yeah, we're there. Well,
don't get me wrong.
Saturdays are way longer than we should be.
God, I can't remember that time, but there's some horror stories we've had in the past. You know what I mean? Where the camaraderie's probably gone a bit too far. Mainly, probably the Saturday after Mad Friday was probably the one thing I thought, what the hell am I doing at this club, and what am I doing? Because there's those times. But when you reflect back and you go, well, that's what's built it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It's like, there's me and my hands on my head because I'm trying to be professional, and I look over and I see Ryan Johnson with a green goalkeeper top on, and that's all he had on.
You can laugh about it now, but he certainly wasn't laughing.
I was certainly laughing. God knows how we won that game that day. I do not know. But
but we always say though as well, like times like that, we always say we are actually better when our back's up against the wall. And times like that.
No, that's true. Some of the bigger results we've had over the years, you think, we probably, if we admitted, we're probably thinking, Christ, we're not going to do it here. But you're right. I think that's where the DNA came through a little bit, and because we had that background, and can win or lose or draw, we always came back and had a beer and stuff like that. And people lose their rag, but I think the 90 minutes we were always quite serious. I think once the game had started, it was serious, and that came through. So
we're still a big group of mourners, like.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. Well, you're the best.
Me being the best one. As I get
nothing's changed there. Then nothing's changed.
But it gives us that mentality of winning. Like we win so much, and we're just not used to not winning.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny because I think that was one of the biggest things. I was disappointed, obviously, in the first team result on Tuesday. But my biggest disappointment was something I'd actually said earlier in that day was the danger we've got this season is that because we're used to winning something, it doesn't matter whether it was the first team or whether it was reserves or it was under 18s or whatever, there was always something someone close to us that won something.
Yeah.
And this year's going to be exceptionally difficult for that one because obviously the Resi's have gone into the Prem.
Yeah.
So your chances of winning something that's probably reduced slightly. There's no promotion to apply for. And then you got your first team thinking, we're already out of the FA Vars, we're already out of the FA Cup. This is kind of our one last chance at a cup piece of silverware, bar promotion. And it kind of went wrong a little bit. And I think, so the pressure's on us a little bit to try and keep that momentum going, because I'm a big believer if you lose that habit, it's very easy, it's very difficult to get back.
Seems to happen. Like we do just like keep winning at different levels. So, but then I suppose you've got to look at it as like the women are still getting far in cups.
Yes,
things like that. Like to be honest, we're happy with we're fourth now in that league, and we were just expecting to mid-table really or stay.
Well, that leads us lovely on to looking back at this season, because it is a big jump. You've gone from Resi's gone from step onto step 6 football. So. Step 6 football. Step 7 football. So, how have you felt the season has gone? Because I think the targets we just got to survive this division, haven't you?
Yeah, we did.
There was a little bit of a wobble at the beginning, wasn't there? But you seem to have cemented yourself quite well into that. I think.
We've done very well. Yeah, we've everyone we've played, we've thought I think it was obvious in the first we played Partland's first game, and they're meant to be up there, to be honest, and they were decent, but we were also
shite.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were.
Well said that, Baz.
I was there.
Yeah. And I know some of the lads know people who watched, and they were like, these are going to go down after that.
Really?
But what you've got to realise is we lost players. Yeah. We lost 2 or 3 lads to the first team.
Well, you got Sinners who bagged 30-odd goals and suddenly was taken off you. Yeah.
So obviously that's really good for the club, and it looks boss, but then we're looking thinking, God, we've just lost 30 goals there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got young lads coming in, 2 Baz's lads, 18, 17?
17, yeah.
Who've never played open age footy, things like that. We've got another 2 lads who are only 16, 17. Yeah. We had 2 lads when we were looking around for a striker thinking, we got them from other places, but we hadn't played together really or anything like that. Yeah. But because we were so used to winning, but everyone we played after that, we thought, we can match them. And I suppose it was a bit of, we thought we could, because you said about staying up, and we were like, well, we'll do mid-table. Yeah. But then when we played that first game, and we were like, maybe. But
listen, you don't have to look at the table and you're thinking, well, perfect. There's no issues there whatsoever. I think personally, and only you can answer this question being in the mix a little bit. I think one of the biggest challenging motivational things you need to do is that get into your head that those players can't get promoted.
Yeah.
And I think you've got to be careful of that, because whilst we need to keep those motivations high, there's only so far you can go, like you said. But then you're thinking, well, what about players' ambitions and what do they want to do? And that becomes even more important, that we get the bond between the Resis and the first team.
Yeah, and that, to be honest, this is probably being the best that the teams have been at integrating players into other teams. Yeah. In one of the times that I've known, really, because you've got 2 or 3 lads in our team.
Yeah.
We've had 2 or 3 lads that have gone up.
Yeah.
Played.
I couldn't agree more. From a side point of view, I can see that happening, and that's what we ultimately wanted to do. Was close that gap.
Pre-season, I approached Steve myself, and wanted that to be looked into more in depth. So
absolutely.
But obviously, then you've got to have the players as well, and we've been lucky that the 2 lads that Baz has come into our team have done really well.
Yeah, absolutely,
really well.
Brilliant. Okay, Baz, been with us 11 years now.
Yeah.
So do you want to give a quick introduction of who you are, where you come from, that type of stuff?
Yeah, Baz Pope, under-18s manager. Been here at the club 11 years ago when he had a fringe. He's coaching kids, takes it off you.
You sure that wasn't 21 years ago?
No. I might have been a bit slimmer as well at the time. But yeah, enjoyed a good ride with the club. Started off, if we got beat 10-0, we celebrated it. Yeah. And now we're currently in our 2nd year in the Warrington Prem. Finished 4th last year. Should have and could have done better, you know who you are. And then, we're having a dig this year.
Yeah. I think that's, again, and I look at it from a slightly different outside point of view, I think, because one of the big success stories we've always had is you're the classic success story of the junior section, because you've stuck with it despite getting beat 10-0 in the early days, and you've stuck with it, and you stuck with the way we should do things, and And that's proved the point really a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I had some many debates with previous managers over the past years, and you know this, but it was like, just follow the system and just keep the faith type thing. And you've kind of been an example of that. And today you've got those kids knocking on the door type thing. And, you know, and you can eventually see that pathway. And I think, you know, I take my hat off to you because, you know, we've all done junior football. If you do junior football as long as you have, it's been phenomenal. So
at the moment, unfortunate because they've got the two. No, they've not got time for it to come down and watch us yet. So I've got to keep them at bay for a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. So
I think what you've done well though is you love it just as much as like we do. So obviously you're there at like watching the early kickoff. You're there having a pint after the game, which is what we love. So then we obviously get on with you, and then your lads then love it.
It's the way the feel around the club. Like, you know, in the past couple of years, I've jumped in. Not jumped in coaching, but in the training session in pre-season, I messaged Mike, and it wasn't a thought. He just invited me down, and that was great to be around. And I've done it with the Resis when they had a game. Real good.
It's good. The integration's, you know, it's critical both on the field and off the field. And the one thing I keep going back because I see things differently from when you two guys are on the field, but I see things different. I see the likes of your lads in the clubhouse. You know what I mean? And that's important because I know there's that continuity. I've got the next set of drinkers coming into the thing. So that's the important thing for us. And I think we need to keep that. And I think if the junior teams following you can see that and hope they'll follow your model, then we should have a very successful football club.
Well, yeah, they can see it. There is a pathway now.
Yeah.
I don't think there has been.
No,
in the past. But at the moment, there's definitely something there. And, you know, obviously the two lads in question are proof that there is.
Okay.
You know.
And this season alone, so it's your real first crack really at a full season of nearly on men's football. So how's it going? And let's talk about Saturday a bit later on, but just rewind a little bit about, you know, how it's gone so far, what your expectations were.
Oh, great. Obviously last year we spent a good chunk of the season at the top. Fell away after Christmas a bit. Equal game time comes into it.
Yeah.
You know, partly my fault. I've told the lads this year, what do they want? I've sort of put it on their toes that do they want us to be nice, sociable, we'll have a laugh joke, equal game time. If we win or lose, it doesn't really matter. Or do we want to jump on it and be winners?
Yeah.
And they've said we want to win.
Yeah.
So I've said, well, you've got to buy into I'm going to try and coach us.
Yeah.
And then take us forward. By equal game time won't be guaranteed because I'm getting them primed for the next step.
Yeah.
Now, you know, it's happened now where the two lads both understand that they're not going to play 90 minutes every single week. They have done, which is a credit to themselves.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it won't always be the case.
Which are the two lads? Name
Arthur Wilcock and Ollie Greeno,
Okay, and what have you seen in them two players, you think? Why is it them two have stepped up a little bit and maybe the others haven't?
I think they put themselves out there.
Yeah.
To be fair, you know, Arthur's big centre back who he's comfortable on the ball. Ollie's, you know, robust. He can play in many positions. He's one of his main threats is when he plays up front. He's not quite got the chance just yet, but you know, there's something there. He's doing a job. I'm hoping he's doing a job at the minute.
Yeah.
I think he's been coming on at right back
last week in the cup.
He scored. Yeah.
So have they settled into the Resis situation?
Good, like they like Baz said, then they want to come down. They wanted to come down during pre-season.
Yeah.
So they said, and obviously at that point we were a bit like people were going from one team to another, so we didn't even know how many like we'd have kind of thing. But they've had the chance and they took it really.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've had like people, especially in August, you always get that where you've got people missing, people away, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like Arthur particularly, he's played a lot more minutes than you probably thought he would play.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's done very well with it. I think he got 2 clean sheets in his first 2 games or something like that.
But that's the thing. So I sat and had a little chat with him and I just said, like, you've got to understand that because you're playing Warrington Junior, you don't have that chip on your shoulder. You're going into open age football, so if you might travel to Manchester and you might get 5-10 minutes, well, you take them.
Yeah.
You don't just think, oh, fucking hell, you know, I should be playing a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But and they both, with the right attitude, they can be successful as well as others in the team.
Yeah. I think you've set the tone correctly there because, like I said, we've had players in the past, youth players coming in and they've automatically thought that they've got this right to be in the team. And even so, definitely in the reserves, they thought they should just going to walk into the reserves. But the reserves last season were coming on the back of, good promotion, a cup win and things like that. So, and I think, but they just went in with the wrong attitude, and unfortunately, those players have been moved on now. So,
it's hard as well because obviously people were our reserve team, but we're the only reserve team in that league because everyone else is the first team. Like they can't go any higher. So it's you think, oh yeah, you're playing reserves, but it's not really a reserve team. It's
not.
It's at the level where everyone else is a first team. So you're not just going to walk in it, or you're playing at a good level for your age kind of thing. I wasn't playing anywhere near that level at 18, 19.
And I think the reserve team things. We touched on this on the last episode about how important a reserve team is because Mike's got that outlet with his men's team to dip it in and out as and when he needs to. But one of the challenges for the club was we need to make sure that happens for the women's team as well. Because, Rosie touched on it in the last episode. I turned up at the club one day and there was 30, 35 women wanting to play football. And you're thinking, oh my God, the demand's there. And it's such a lot of pressure to get from a club point of view is to protect beautiful facilities for the reserve team football. Not just in men's, but in women's as well. But equally, it'll operate the other way around. We need a strong youth section coming through, and I think you're a testament to that. So, I mean, this season alone, you're going to be the whole team. I know you got one or two or three players knocking on the door for Resis, but the team itself is going to be tested through defending the current trophy champions in the Northern Cup.
Yeah, your first round.
So that arm's on the 26th.
25th, is it?
25th, is it? 25th.
It's one of them, It's a nice trip out.
Where's that? So do you know who your opponents are?
I don't know the name, but it's HB Kelmer Vets.
Vets.
So, Vets.
Platty was saying that the reserve team played them a couple of years ago.
Right. Oh, really?
As well, yeah.
What score was that, do you remember?
Beaten possibly 6-2, 5-1, 6-2, I think he said. But he said they were Vets. So
what's your game plan going into that one, Baz?
4-4-2.
I think,
which is probably good. You'll be able to run rings around.
Yeah. No, but they're excited. I've told them I didn't want them looking ahead to it too much because as you're going to get onto in a minute, no doubt, the weekend's result. So I wanted them to focus on the games we've got beforehand.
Yeah.
And then we can go and enjoy that. There's lads who's not had much minutes who can look at getting minutes, and we're gonna go there to win. Of course we are, but are we expected to? I don't know.
I think you'll find with the Northern Cup, I think the first 2 or 3 rounds they should be fairly
no pressure then.
But equally at the same time, the only reason we've put you in that is to give the lads exposure to a bit of
it's good that though,
brute force behind it, and let's face it, they'll either sink or they swim, won't they? But it'd be good experience. They'll come off that field with a good experience. So
we'll swim.
Good.
There's no sinking.
Will you raise the subject? So let's talk about Saturday. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were particularly pleased about the first 20-25 minutes, 1-0 up.
First 1 hour.
60 minutes, sorry.
Yeah, first 60 minutes,
1 hour. So
more than happy.
Yeah. So what changed, and is there any message out there you want to give to those players without going too much?
Yeah, without trying to swear, just don't do it again. For me, it's the best 60 minutes we put in. We had personnel missing through uni, and there's one thing I hate at the end of a game is when we go, we missed him. Well, they didn't have that Saturday. The lads who come in, and we signed another lad on last week, were unreal for 60 minutes, and then we just had a couple of brain farts.
Yeah.
But, in testament to a couple of them, they've private messaged apologising, but I just want them to learn from it. It stands us in good stead for the rest of the season. Because we've got a quick turnaround. I think we play the team in question again in a few weeks at their ground, so we can hopefully correct it.
Yeah, good. Well, like I said, I mean, as long as they're learning from that's the important bit, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, It always is. It's a massive learning curve, and, the result didn't go our way, but for 2/3 of the game, I was more than happy. More than happy.
Okay. And before we move on, I mean, obviously going back to how the relationship should work between the Resis and the 18s is just how is that going? Not just the players and who's getting opportunities, but how is that working between you and the management team? Is it something that, you know, other clubs perhaps who are watching this podcast can learn from and things like that? Is there anything?
We're in a group as many others. We're in a group together. We make contact. Like I said, I think I'm fortunate enough at the minute that they've not had too much chance to come and see us because there might be a couple more there.
Right.
In my opinion.
That sounds like a bit of a dig at you not pulling your weight there, Steve.
No, it's not.
You have to be daily about that. I can't get out on Saturday morning as well.
Them ducks don't feed themselves, do they?
Fair dues. All right, well, thanks for that. We'll come back to you and have a chat in a few minutes' time. So just want to reflect on the games coming up. So tomorrow night, the first team I've got Earlham. That's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff at Windleshore Road. Looking to get bounced back, obviously, on those 2 defeats that we've mentioned. And then we look ahead towards Saturday. We'll play the Isle of Man, where we'll take the trip over there. So the lads have got a bit of a long day that day. And the flight's silly clock. It's like 9:30 a.m, but we don't kick off till 6 p.m. So hoping for a better result than we had last year. So, looking for a good positive result, a bit of a comeback result from the weekend as well. And then, of course, we look forward to the Resies are at home. So if people can't make the trip to the Isle of Man, urge everyone, don't make the excuse not to go and watch football. Go and watch your Resies team play on Saturday. They've got the County Cup competition, a competition that we've always done quite well in. I think was it the semi-final last season?
We got and then the final year before. So, and they were against the same team, weren't they? Who've just beaten the
round. So there's a great opportunity there for the Resies to go on and try and win that trophy. But the team you're playing is Croston Sports Reserves.
Yeah.
A few divisions below us, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know loads about them. I know a lad who used to play for us, who you'll know well, Fenny. He plays in the same league as them, so
right. Okay.
Hopefully, should be a good one. Yeah, it's at home, obviously, and then we can hopefully get a few lads who need some minutes as well.
Yes, hopefully. I know. So those types of games might be an opportunity for these kids to knock on. So that's a 2:00 kickoff on Saturday. And the Resies, the under-18s, they've got a game this Saturday.
Yes, we're away at Bruges.
Yeah,
Saturday morning.
League game?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then back to the club to watch the Resies.
As per.
We're
always there.
Fair dues. Okay. And then, not to mention as well, we've got the women's, they're at home on Sunday as well. They're a 2 p.m. kickoff again in the County Cup. They are playing Southport FC. I think we played them a couple of years ago. So we'll get all the footage gone for both games this weekend, and we'll get some interviews with the managers and etc. So just a bit of a plug. All the club winter gear is already in now. So if you want your bobble hats, your club scarves, etc., they're all in the club shop now, ready to buy. So anything else you want to add? Any comments you want to make?
The coaches get winter gear.
Yeah. Ready, available in the club shop, Baz.
Okay. As there must be a discount code somewhere.
There is a discount code, yeah. Just let me know when you find it. Yeah. So, right. So, just to let you know what happens in the next week's show, we've got Chris Meadows, who's head of the disability team. He's going to come in and tell us a bit about how the disability teams work and the new league that they've just formed, which is all based at our ground at Windleshore Sports. So that's a great event. Got some big things moving there in disability football. He's going to be joined by like old Liam, who's Mr. Motivation, loves the FC to death, and so I think you've all met Liam before, haven't you? Yeah. So he'll be a character coming in, and then not long after that, we've got the 2 lads from the media team that come and join us, and they're going to give us a little bit more background about how they want to promote the club through the media sources, and where all that takes us. So we've got all that to look forward to in the next couple of episodes of FCTV. Thanks for tuning in.
2014, Steve had a dream. We lit the fuse and we were flying. We are thunder, we are hope, we are fire, here we go. We are Football Club St. Helens. We are Football Club St. Helens. We are Football Club St. Helens. We are on the up and up.
And that's all we've got to look forward to the next episode. So, I knew. I told you. I always cock up the introduction at the end.
And I can't even remember what he's saying.
We've all got that look forward to next episode. So. Why have I gone through all this and can't get the last bit right?
It's because it's fresh.
No. You've got all that. So we've got all that to look forward to in the next couple of episodes. Thanks for joining us at FCTV.
Without looking like a robot.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Can someone move this from up my ass, please?
Oh, it's you two, isn't it? Stop there abusing me, aren't you?
Easy now, Steve.
Here we go.